Hello, I'm Kwiatkowski. You are the author of a new book about coworking and how to build coworking, or how to build community, rather. Why is it important that you start to build a community before you open up a space?
You need the people to really identify with each other and knit together really tightly to actually move into a physical space and make that sustainable. So we've had examples where people have a physical space first and then they try to fill it with people, and those spaces typically fail, or their time to get a critical mass is so long that the people who are there don't want to be there anymore because there's nobody else in the space to talk to or collaborate with.
Where does the stickiness come from for those people, member of the community?
I think the stickiness comes from the realization that they're not alone, that all of the frustration and all of the isolation and problems that they're having working for themselves or working from home or having their own business, they're not alone. And when they find 1 or 2 or 30 other people who have those exact same pain points and they can talk about it and they can solve it together, that's where the stickiness comes from.
You are a former human resource manager, and what you say in the book is that you are really doing human resource management now, and you weren't doing that before. Why?
I think that I'm actually doing the best version of human resource development right now. When I worked at a company, I wasn't actually listening to people. It wasn't encouraged by the company that I would actually be available as a person to other people. What I was doing was pushing papers and sending emails and doing really ineffective task-based things. And then when I started the co-working space, I find that my days are really filled, that my days are actually filled with talking to people and listening to people and helping them become better freelancers, to build stronger businesses, to make more money, to feel more fulfilled as a person. And so I feel like that's the root of human resources. And ironically, I had to leave a company to actually practice my craft.
What about the life cycle of a co-working space? So far, we know a lot of co-working spaces which have been launched by people very passionate, but after a while, we can assume that this passion will maybe lower, or people being exhausted. How do you see that?
I think we're at a really interesting turning point right now, where the original spaces that were kind of the founding spaces of the movement, the founders are moving on. They're launching wildly successful companies, and they're CEOs of things that they never maybe thought that they would be CEOs of. And so there is a place where people outgrow a co-working space and they need to go get a physical space for their employees. And I also don't think that co-working is a good fit for your entire life. You know, there's not 14-year-olds co-working, so co-working fits really well at a certain phase in someone's life, and I think right now we're right in the thick of it, so we don't really know what's coming next.
Yeah, you mean that a co-working space life duration, which is will be a few years and not more?
Yeah, I think a typical member might stay at a co-working space 3 to 5 years, and maybe 5 years is pushing it. And I think people who run co-working spaces, probably in also 3 to 5 years, will want to have a different role in the company, or will want to not be managing the day-to-day and doing something else, or maybe we'll want to move on to more of a consultant or expert or trainer role, and not be in the trenches every day. And again, we're right in the middle of it, and we don't know how we're going to feel a year from now, let alone 5 years from now.